A little over 2 years ago, I was introduced to our next speaker. His name is Sturgeon. Paul was actually living in his car at the time, and he was extremely ill when he was introduced to the Salvation Army. All of us staff knew right away that it was a very special person. You could see it in his eyes, you could see how excited he was, and you could see that he really wanted to make some really positive changes in his life, and he just needed someone that could help him a little bit along the way. And I was so lucky to be able to be with him along that way. So it is definitely my privilege to introduce such a wonderful and inspiring person to, I think, all of us. So Paul, why don't you come on up and tell us your story.
Is this thing on? Thanks. I'm a little nervous, but a lot of people here. I'm not really tall. I grew up in Viola, a little town. Grew up in Center Point. Never had a lot of positive upbringing, whatnot. And I dropped out of school when I was like 8 years old. You know, or not 8 years old. 8th grade. I'm sorry. But I had odd jobs. I cleaned houses, I babysat, did lots of good things, just never had a great job though. And I had an apartment in Marion, and I had worked for temp agencies, but you only make like $7 an hour. And I almost lost my apartment, I lost my use of my phone, lost my insurance, got all that stuff back. But one day I just said, I think it would be easier not to have all these bills. And I took to just living with friends or sleeping in my car if I had to, off and on for about 3 months. And the Salvation Army, hi Pat, the Salvation Army, I came to help me pay a bill, like a $75 bill or whatever it was. And I met Pat, and I met Captain Chris and Captain Dawn, and Pat says, I need a job. I told her I needed a job. You want to be a bell ringer? And I said, can I wear the Santa Claus uniform? She told me no. But I rang the bell for him for a year, and I also did it the next year. But in I think it was 05, I went to live in my car, and I have asthma. I have asthma pretty bad. And I was staying with some friends, and they smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I got sick. And I got sicker and sicker and sicker. And I went to the hospital, and Captain Chris and Ronnie and Bridget, they came up to the hospital and seen me and said, we got an apartment for you. And they paid my rent for 9 months at the Margaret Bach House. And then at the end of July in 06, I went to live with my brother for 18 months. But in the meantime, Amy, they asked me, Captain Chris, and everybody said, what do you want to do? You know, because I wasn't really working. I was getting food stamps, staying in this little apartment. And I said, I want to get my GED, so I get a better job, a decent job. And Amy went with me the first day, and they do a lot around here, and it was Valentine's Day, the first day she went with me to school for the orientation, and she told Deb, it's a little crazy around here, she told Deb, Happy Thanksgiving. But Amy went with me to my first day of school at the Lincoln Learning Center. And there's a bunch of kids up there, and our kids were like, one wants to do that, one wants to be a nurse, one wants to whatever. I said, I just want to get my GED so I can get a decent job. And I started on Valentine's Day, and I would call Danelle and different people. I don't know how to do this math problem, I don't know how to write an essay, whatever. And they would say, you're fine, Debbie too. And they just kept talking me through it. Amy, I talked to her 100 times. And anyway, I got my GED about 8 months later. On the day before Halloween, on Halloween they handed it to me and said, here you go. I took a couple months. I took a couple months off, and I mean just to relax, because all I ever did was schoolwork. If I wasn't sleeping, I did schoolwork. And I got a job, and I bought a 99 Blazer, but I still have 2 years of payments on. That's fine. And I had that job for a little while, but it didn't work out because it was the last one hired, it was the first one to be let go. But I got a job now, and the last Wednesday, the 7th of May, I've been there a year, and I'm a security guard for U.S. Security Associates, and I work at Rockwell Counties. So now, after I got the truck, this Blazer, 99 Blazer, and it's really, really nice. And so, I mean, it drives, it's the nicest vehicle I've ever had. It's fast, and it's got a loud speakers that you say.